Good morning and welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. I'm Vic and welcome to the Daily Sports Update Show. It's Monday, Jesus. Time flies so fast, man. What a weekend we had with sports. Formula One, sumo, rugby, football. I mean, everything was in there this weekend. Basketball, ice hockey, NFL. So a lot to get into this morning. Let's have a look at those topics quickly. There you go. Of course, those are all the topics. Don't know about the cricket, and I don't know about the darts either. I haven't prepared that this morning. I've been so busy. But we'll see. You know, tomorrow's another day. We'll update you on those stuff tomorrow. Don't worry. Konnichiwa, Vern. There you go. Hey, we're at 110,000 already. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks a lot. I heard the ladies were out in Storm yesterday. Vern told me something. Ladies, I'll do whatever pleases you. To a certain level. There you go. So we'll leave the heart out there for a while. Listen here, we're going to start in the Premier League. And when we get to basketball, we've got to talk about something. But let's first start off with the Premier League. Let's see if I can get it out there. Oh, wow, what a Premier League weekend we've had. I mean, look, some of the games we played on Saturday, Vern did those. I'll just start with the Aston Villa game because that was the game that was played yesterday. Aston Villa thrashed Bournemouth 4-0. Good morning, Ronnie. Brentford beat Newcastle 3-1. Eddie Howe, I think, is under a little bit of pressure right now. Then Crystal Palace and Brighton drew 0-0. Forest beat Leeds 3-1. So doing a lot better there, Forest. And Sean Dyche doing a good job. And Man City pouring the misery on Liverpool. My Lord, Liverpool. How the mighty have fallen. Not just us, but you as well. There you go. Yeah. 3-0 there, and Haaland even missed a penalty, you know. So, not looking good for Liverpool. Let's look at the table out there. Arsenal out in front, ahead of Spurs. Ahead of Spurs. What am I talking about? Ahead of Man City. And then afterwards, from Chelsea all the way down, I think all the way down to Brighton. I mean, it's basically, even Brentford. Brentford was 16. Even Everton are 15. I mean, there's like 12, 13 teams that could get into the top four. So, Premier League really, really tight this year. But now there's an international break, sadly. So there's no Premier League for 2 weeks. But that's just the way it is. So let's see what we can do after 2 weeks. Maybe United can start pushing up a little bit more. Then there were games in Spain, in La Liga, in España. Athletic Club Bilbao beat Real Oviedo 1-0. Nico Williams with the goal there. Rayo Vallecano and Real Madrid drew 0-0. Not a good result for Real Madrid. Mallorca beat Getafe 1-0. Valencia and Real Betis drew 1-1. And Barcelona beat Celta de Vigo 4-2. 3 goals there from Robert Lewandowski. Frankie de Jong got himself sent off in that one. Then we move on to the Bundesliga. Jawohl. And Freiburg beat St. Pauli 2-1. I guess they were spending too much time on the Reeperbahn there in St. Pauli. Stuttgart beat Augsburg 3-2. And Frankfurt beat Mainz 1-0. Good morning, Rose Garden. Then in the Italian Serie A, buongiorno tutti. Sassuolo beat Atalanta. Now that is a surprise for me, 3-0. Bologna, another big surprise, beating Naples 2-0. Genoa and Fiorentina doing 2-2. Fiorentina down at the bottom of the table. That is not looking good for that, major team in Italy, Fiorentina. AS Roma doing really well this year, beating Udinese 2-0, and Internazionale Milano beat Lazio 2-0. So looking good for Inter and Roma on top of the table there in Italy. We did Italy, let's go there. We got to move on to the French league. Bonsoir. No, bonsoir would be evening. I don't know what good morning is in French anymore. So let's forget about it. Lorient and Toulouse drew 1-1. Angers beat Auxerre 2-0. Metz beat Nice 2-1. Strasbourg beat Lille 2-0. And Paris Saint-Germain beat Lyon 3-2. Then we move out. Don't forget the ladies, because Vic loves the ladies. And in the English Women's Super League, the London Lionesses beat Tottenham Hotspurs 4-2. Liverpool and Brighton drew 1-1. West Ham and Leicester City drew 1-1. And Man City beat Everton 2-1. Then we got to start in the NBA this morning, and a little bit of sad news there. I don't know, not a lot of you young people will know this man here. Lenny Wilkins What a coach Lenny Wilkins was. All-star basketball player in the Hall of Fame as a player and as a coach. Not many of them do that. Listen here, to his family and to all his friends and all his ex-players and everybody, condolences from us. I thought I'd do something special for Lenny Wilkins. I can't show the video, but I'm gonna run the sound this morning for Lenny. So I thought this is appropriate. So guys, bear with me. I'm gonna put it a little bit louder. I'm most probably going to get a YouTube violation for this one, but it's worth it. Here we go. For you, Lenny Wilkins.
Introduction. Lenny Wilkins, he's the coach of the East Coast. Like when he played, he's great as a head coach. With his staff, Dick Helm and Brian Winters. They joined together with trainer Al Domenico. A better staff than coach, you will never know. Yeah, they go to All-Stars.
Coaching the East team from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Lenny Wilkins.
I thought it was worth it. I loved Lenny Wilkins. That was a clip from the 1988 All-Star game. They had a rap going on. I grew up with that. I think I can rap that whole song off by heart. Lenny Wilkins, rest in peace, my friend. You gave me beautiful basketball memories. Thank you so much. And yeah, once again to your family and to all your friends, and our condolences. He died at the age of 88. Lenny Wilkins. He did so much for the NBA and for basketball. So rest in peace, Lenny. We're gonna miss you, man. Then we do move on to life goes on, as they say. Let's get into the NBA and into the scores of the weekend. Just gonna make sure I don't hit that video again. Let me just actually take it away quickly, otherwise I don't want to hit that sound again. So let's have a look at the NBA scores of the weekend. And the Rockets beat the Bucks in a battle of Kevin Durant against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Durant 31.7 assists, Antetokounmpo 37 points and 8 rebounds. But it is the Houston Rockets that are starting to roll. People laughed at me when I said the Rockets are going to become champions this year. Then the Nets, they got destroyed against the Knicks. I mean, the battle of the boroughs there, Brooklyn against Manhattan. I mean, 134-1-98. Not looking good there for the Nets. Karl Anthony Towns for the Knicks with 28 points and 12 rebounds. Then the Celtics beat the Magic. Celtics starting to roll a little bit, 111-107. So shout out to Janet. I know she's a big Celtics fan. The Thunder keep on rolling. They beat the Grizzlies 114-100. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, once again the main man, with 35 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists. The Detroit Pistons beating the Philadelphia 76ers there, 111-108. Tyrese Maxey with 33 points once again for the Sixers. He is the main man there, but it wasn't enough to beat those Pistons. Then the Pacers losing to the Warriors 114-83. My man Jimmy Butler, 21 points, 9 rebounds and 7 assists. And last but not least, the Timberwolves beating the Kings 144-117. Rudy Gobert with a big night there, 19 points, 12 rebounds and 5 block shots. Doing well there for the Timberwolves. Let's quickly go have a look at the tables then. We'll start out in the East. There you go. Detroit Pistons out on top. Surprise for me, ahead of the Cavaliers and the Knicks. Indiana still only with 1 win at the bottom. Same with Brooklyn and Washington. What is wrong with it? The difference in the top teams and the bottom teams in the NBA is crazy this year. I don't know what's going on there. The NBA tries to, with their draft system, equal things out, but it's not equal, Then in the West, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, 10-1 ahead of the Spurs, 7-2, and the Nuggets, 7-2. Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers, and the Rockets are coming, baby. Rockets, champions this year. Champion is their word. Mark my word. I told you boys here, you heard it here first. Then, football last night and the NFL. Oh, we had some good games there. We had some great games there. Thursday night, the Raiders lost to the Broncos, 7-10. But then yesterday, the early game was played in Berlin in the Olympic Stadium. And the Colts with a nice comeback win there. They won 31-25 against the Atlanta Falcons. The New York Giants fall to the Chicago Bears 20-24. The Bills, what is wrong with the Bills? I gotta take a sip on this one. The hapless Miami Dolphins beat the Bills 30-13. MVP Josh Allen looking a shell of himself. Not good, but very good for my Patriots. The Ravens are on their way back. I told you, boys, even though when they were down 1-5, I told you Ravens going to make the playoffs. 27-19 against the Vikes. The Browns losing to the Jets. Jets 2 wins in a row. They're on a comeback here, 27-20. Then, of course, the most important game of the night. My 2 favorite teams, the Patriots and the Buccaneers. But it is my heart. Well, there you go. The heart's there. The red heart's there. The Patriots, baby. We are on top of the table. We are coming, baby. 28-23 against the Buccaneers. The Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. The Jaguars lost 29-36 in a high-scoring game against the Texans. The Cardinals got thrashed 22-44 to the Seahawks. Shout out to Dominic. Then the Rams in the Battle of California. LA against San Francisco. The Rams beat the 49ers 42-26. The Lions thrashed the Commanders 44-22. We had that score once before, yeah. The Steelers losing out to the Chargers. And tonight, of course, the Eagles against the Packers. And then you had the teams at the bottom. The Bengals, the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Chiefs all having a bye this week. Then let's have a look at the standings. Well, hey, we've got to start in the AFC East, my baby. Yes, Patriots out on top. A game ahead of the Bills. Are we going to get that number 1 spot in the playoffs? It's all back, baby. It's all back, and it's looking good. There's flashback memories here for me. Pittsburgh still keeping the lead there in the North, but Baltimore is coming. The Colts doing well. They are on top of the South, and in the AFC West, the Broncos ahead of the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go to the NFC quickly. The Eagles, they need a win tonight to kind of solidify that top spot. The Packers could do with a win as well. They're playing off against the Eagles tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers still holding on to the lead there in the NFC South. And in the West, it is a really tight division. You got the Seattle Seahawks ahead of the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals are out of this one. Don't worry. Then talking about all North American stuff. Before we get into the ice hockey, don't forget Across the Pond will be on Wednesday. It won't be live. It'll be re-live on Wednesday because I've got some personal things to do. But I'll be taping it a little bit earlier and I'll be putting it out as a re-live. So don't worry. Make sure to join it. All about North California this weekend. We did Southern California last weekend. Let's move into the NHL. There we go. Had a few games there. The Blackhawks beat the Red Wings 5-1. The Kings beat the Penguins 3-2. The Hurricanes beat the Maple Leafs 5-4. The Mammoth lose to the Senators 2-4. Vern, no tears please. Your Kraken lost to the Stars 1-2. The Flames got beaten by the Wild 2-0. The Avalanche, they made an avalanche on the Canucks 3-2. And the Ducks beat the Jets 4-1. Quick look at the tables there. In the East, in the Atlantic, it's the Montreal Canadiens at top. In the Metropolitan, it is the Carolina Hurricanes ahead of the Devils and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then if we look in the West, and it's the Colorado Avalanche ahead of the Dallas Stars in the Central Division, and in the Pacific Division, it's the Anaheim Ducks ahead of my Golden Knights. So yeah, looking good for everybody. There was a little bit, let me just hit the right buttons here, boys and girls. There was a little bit of college football on the weekend, and some big games. I told you about that LSU against Alabama game. We'll get into that. But Northwestern lost to USC 38-17. Ohio thrashed Purdue 34-10. Indiana beat Penn State. That was a close one, 27-24. The Texas A&M, the Aggies, they beat Missouri 38-17. The Georgia Bulldogs beat Mississippi State 41-21. Then we'll go on to the next one. The Citadel, they got thrashed by Ole Miss 49-0. BYU got beaten by Texas Tech. That is a good win for Texas Tech. That will solidify their spot in the playoffs. I'm telling you that. 29-27. The Oregon Ducks beat Iowa. The Hawkeyes 18-16. Vanderbilt beat Auburn 45-38. Charles Barkley will not be happy with that one. Then Syracuse got thrashed by Miami 38-10. And here we go. There you go. Alabama, baby. Alabama. Yes, Sweet Home Alabama beating LSU 20-9. The Tigers, even though they sacked old Jim Kelly, it doesn't work, man. You guys are terrible, man. Where's Ryan Clark, the big LSU fan? Always chirping away there on ESPN. Your boys got hammered, baby. Then Notre Dame beating Navy 49-10. Now that's the game everybody wants to watch. Navy against Army. That is still, for me, traditionally, that's a game I always try to watch every year. I think that's coming up soon. Wake Forest beats Virginia. Upset for number 14, Virginia. They lose to Wake Forest 16-9. And California beating the Louisville. Also another ranking team losing to a non-ranked team 29-26. We'll get into the whole playoff situation and how the tables look at the ATP show across the pond on Wednesday. Then a little bit of an outlook for this week. Let's have a look there. Those are all the EuroLeague basketball games coming up this week. Lots of EuroLeague basketball on this week. The 10th and the 11th round are being played this week. Let's have a look at the tables. There you go. So Žalgiris Kaunas, my friends from Lithuania, because everybody knows I have a special place for Lithuanian basketball in my heart. Then ahead of Red Star Belgrade and Hapoel Tel Aviv. Not the three teams you would have expected to be at the top of the league at this season if you're a basketball insider. Telling you what's coming up. The 11th, that is tomorrow evening, we will have Paris Basket against Panathinaikos. I don't know who's doing that one. Me or Vern will have a look. Looks like it'll be me at that time of the evening during the week. And then on the Wednesday, the 12th, Vern will be doing that one. It's going to be Olympiacos against Žalgiris Kaunas. That's a big one. That's number 1 and number 4 in the table against each other. That should be very interesting. Then, of course, there was rugby this weekend. And I mean, listen here, I've got to take another drink here. And it's not pasties for all you freaking French out there that pissed me off the whole weekend. It's French tears that I'm drinking today. What happened to you boys there, man? Big mouth, revenge. You got fucking slaughtered, man. You got hammered. You got one hell of a beating. I'm not going to go through all the results. You know what? I feel so good. I'm going to go through all the results. Georgia beat the USA 43-10. Kind of expected. Ireland beat Japan 41-10. Also expected. Portugal losing to Uruguay 8-26. I thought that it would be a closer game. Romania beating Canada 31-21. Scotland, valid effort by the Scots. Well done. You played well, but you lost. 17-25 to New Zealand. New Zealand not looking that great at the moment. England, Fiji, that's a wrong score. That's not 14-13. Because England, I don't know why those scores are up there like that. That's not a right score. Italy, Australia, neither, because Italy beat Australia. France, of course, that's a right score. 17-32 against the Springboks, the mighty Springboks. Colombia thrashing Mexico 65-5, and Wales beating losing to Argentina 28-52. Didn't expect that. I mean, those were my tips for the weekend. I didn't do that badly. The only game I screwed up was the Portugal against the Uruguay one. I didn't get that one right. Otherwise, and the Canada, Romania. I got a few wrong. Oh, well, what do I know? But let me tell you what's coming up this weekend. Of course, we have on Saturday the first game, and what a game it's going to be. Italy against South Africa. I expect the Springboks to make a few changes there. Then after that, I'll be doing that one together with Vern. Then Vern will be doing this one, England, New Zealand. That should be a cracking game there. There could be a lot of movement there in the world rankings. And then, of course, last but not least, Ireland against Australia. So we've got 3 cracking games on the weekend. So be sure to join us for that. Then we move on to my friends there. Konnichiwa in Japan. Yes, the sumo has started, my friends. The sumo has started, and let's get out there. Those are the matches that are coming up. So let's first get to the results. There you go. That's better. So those are the results of yesterday. Takanaka Hoshu and Horadomi. Horadomi won that one. Wakamoto Huro lost to Oho Oneshki. The young Ukrainian did well against Kirashima. He won. Kota Sakura beat Watatata Kage. Hokuyo beat Hoshoru. That Yokozuna should get his fucking Yokozuna title taken away from him. He's been terrible this year, man. And Onosato beat Takayasu. Onosato, the man to beat. Those were the results of day 1. Upcoming for day 2, Horodomi will take on Takayasu. Oneshiki will take on Waka Motohura. Wata Tatakake and O face-off. Kota Sakura and Kirashima will duel each other. Onosata will battle Hakuyo. And Takanooshu will take on Hoshuru. I can see the next upset for Hoshuru. I can see it coming. That boy's just not good, man. Don't know how the hell he got to be Yokozuna. But don't forget, tomorrow evening, that's what's important. Oh, my nose is itching this morning. Tomorrow evening, day 3 review with Vern. That'll be coming out tomorrow evening, so make sure to join or to watch that video, definitely. Then, not to forget, we did have Formula 1 on the weekend. And Lando Norris, he won in a really, really dominant form. Ahead of Kimi Antonelli, the young Mercedes driver, and Max Verstappen, for me, driver of the day, starting off in the pit lane, finishing 3rd. Well done to him. George Russell came in 4th. Oscar Piastri slipping. His title hopes are slipping. He came in 5th, and then you can see the rest: Berman, Lawson, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, and Gasly. Now, if you're wondering, where's that team? That team with that prancing horse, or what I call the donkey on it. Ferrari are in disarray. Ferrari are a joke. I had high hopes for Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton this year. He's stunk up the joint. Leclerc is not a lot better. I mean, come on, Ferrari, you are a joke, man. The people in Italy are throwing the TVs out the windows when they watch Ferrari, man. That is a joke, man. I think a bloody Fiat Panda is quicker than you guys at the moment. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's have a look at the standings quickly. So Lando Norris, a nice little lead there now, ahead of Oscar Piastri, up by 24 points. Verstappen still in it. I actually can see Verstappen still making this World Championship because, I mean, had he not started out of the pits yesterday, I think he would have won it. Then George Russell still in there. Yeah, there you have the 2 Ferrari drivers. I mean, they're basically only there on default, so it is what it is. But that is your sports for this morning. That's the wrap up. Gee, 22 minutes. I'm taking a long time today. Guys, you enjoy your day. Join us this afternoon for DEFCON Rugby at 5 o'clock Central European Time. And then, otherwise, join me tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday, so it is Table Tuesday. So we'll be looking at all the tables in football and stuff. I have a little bit of time because none of the European leagues are playing this week because of the international break for the World Cup qualifiers. We'll update you on that as well. So that'll be tomorrow morning. So you guys have a great day. Be safe. Don't work too hard. And if you're coming back from work, chill out and relax. And because chill out is a big important word in the youth of today. So chill, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.